Hello everyone, my name is Kane and welcome back to more Chaos Head Noah. Last time we did the Ayase ending, which was pretty cool. It was also kind of horrifying seeing what Ayase sees the world as. But I think I'm going to be more scared of whatever this route is, because today we are going for the Kozue route. So in order to get the Kozue route going, shortcut to Chapter 3. I think, hang on, let me just make sure one more time. Kozue, after Ayase, yeah, it's Kozue. So we need to start at Chapter 3, Shogun. And from here, we're going to need to skip for quite a bit. Eventually, there should be a delusion that starts with, and sure enough. So, once we get there, is this it? Nope. Although, the reason I'm picking negative here is because, even though I've already done negative here, the neutral delusion is apparently how you get Seina's ending there. I know I can just select the other options, but still. Also, you almost got hit by a car again. Is this... Sorry, Misumi-kun. Time to watch you get stabbed again. Bye-bye. I don't know why I keep doing this to him. I just think it's funny every time to let Misumi... I don't know why. It's just because of how irrelevant he is to the story otherwise. This is not the time. Woo. Remy! Still. I don't know why. I find it too funny to do it to kill Misumi every run through because he's not relevant either otherwise to the story. He's just a guy who's here. It's funny. Making him relevant in my own little way is funny. Still waiting quite a while for this next delusion to kick, or this pathway to kick in. Still nothing. Oh, wait, maybe here? And sure enough, there was someone there. Okay. From here, we need to pick the positive route. Alright. From here, we're going to have a handful of questions we need to answer. Could she be here to help me? Yes. This transfer student must be a professional exorcist. Yes. She acts frail, but that's all it is, an act. How many questions have I answered? Yes. We might be redoing this set of questions again. She must be here to kill Remy. I'm going to save because I've already lost track of what I should be doing here. I'm going to be honest with you. I completely lost track here. Yes. The two of them should just kill each other. No. Alright, here we go. Kerbam Schwing. Discovered Kozue story. Achievement. Alright, we got another ending. Here we go. From here, it says that we'll have to wait until after Chapter 7 for the story to start changing. So, once again, we have to wait quite a little bit. Although, unlike the previous two times, we are at least not waiting as long because we're skipping two entire other chapters. So, we might not be here for as long as the other chapters. I'm not sure. Depends on how long Kozue's story is, plus the intermission. Who knows, maybe she'll have, like, multiple intermissions to make up for the fact that she is, like, later on. I don't know. Do-do-do-do-do-do. So far, everything seems to be the same. I don't know what parts of Kozue intermission could be. Maybe this would be intermission. Nope, nothing there. We're currently in chapter 4, right? Do 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 do. Ooh. Okay, comfy. Oh, hello, Nanami. Bam bam bam. Weep. There's Sana. There's Chaina. Crunchy. Num num icicle. Oh! As the final class ended, the stuffiness of the school day gave way to a restful afternoon. Alone, Orihara Kozue plodded her way out through the front gate. As she walked, her lazy motions and lowered head highlighted her frailty. With her knit eyebrows and muddled expression, it seemed as if she were holding back tears. Having just transferred schools, Kozue felt isolated from her peers. However, that was only natural for her. She would never speak. Even when called on by a teacher to solve a problem or read a book from a book, she would just fidget in her seat, tears welling in her eyes. Oh. Not a single person in the school had ever heard her voice, neither student nor teacher. I'll be honest with you, I've had those kind of moments too, where it's like, I feel like a lot of people may have had those moments, I don't know. I feel like I've had moments where it's like, I want to say something, or I know I need to say something, and yet I just can't. It's just something about the pressure, anxiety, I don't know. Kozue constructed walls between herself and them, and those made curious by the novelty of a transfer student were quick to drift away. Even then, one or two inquisitive classmates were still determined to speak with her, but she had no desire to open her heart to them. Still, she never felt that her situation was particularly urgent. Even though it was only one person, she did have a friend. An older girl who was not in her class. Given that Kozue was new in town, the girl was the only person in all of Tokyo that she could be confined in. Other than her, she felt she did not need to make friends. She did not need to get along with her classmates. All she really wanted was to continue living her quiet life. On this evening in Shoto Park, one could hear the sounds of children playing alongside the pond's bank. A boy happened to pass right by Kozue on a trail along the waterside. In his hand, he held a petite mirror that displayed the face of its owner. Two housewives, likely the mothers of the children at play, were chatting on a bench. Kozue could hear their voices clearly.
There's a strange video floating around about a trifle mirror. It's awfully scary.
Oh, is it?
I haven't seen it, so I can't say I would know.
Exactly, it's a trifle mirror.
Here, it's one of these, with the 3 mirrors in a row that fold out.
Oh yeah, I've seen mirrors like that before. So you're saying something about a creepy video?
Kozue stopped dead in her tracks near the bench. Her forehead became sickeningly slick with sweat. The woman put their talk on pause, glancing questioningly at the odd girl before them. Suddenly becoming aware of herself, Kozue rushed away from the park. Mirrors. For Kozue, they were a source of great psychological trauma. Not wanting to recall the past, she frantically fought to keep the memories from flooding her mind. She told herself that she was overthinking it, and again continued walking toward the station. As she approached the front of Bunkamachi, her eyes were assailed by light, a glaring and radiant light. Kozue shivered in fear. So many times in the past she'd been assaulted like this, by reflections in the mirror. Her mind overflowed with panic, unable to hold down her nightmarish past any longer. Was it a coincidence, or was she being targeted? She looked all around, praying it was just a misunderstanding. A short distance away, a white station wagon came to a stop. A man leaned out of the driver's window. In his hand was a mirror. He seemed to be adjusting its angle. The light struck Kozue's eyes again and again. Frightened, she raised her hands to block the light, dashing across the pedestrian scramble in order to escape. Her mind ran rampant with terror and disorder. She wanted to get home as quickly as possible. She did not want to be here. Tears streamed down her face. It has to be a coincidence. She desperately repeated these words to herself, wiping away the tears with her fingers. Just then, light assailed her eyes once again. Its glare dazzled her, violently piercing her gaze. The car from earlier had followed her. This time, only the driver's arm protruded from the window, and in his hand, he still held that very same mirror. Aww. Snapping out of her trance, she put everything she had into running for the station. She bumped into numerous pedestrians while pushing through the crowd. The fear kept her moving, paying no mind to all the mockery and insults in her way. Upon arriving at the station, she turned around, only to find the white car stopped at a traffic light at Scramble Crossing. Kozue hid under the shadow of the Hachiko statue, huddling in place with bated breath, struggling to comprehend all that had happened. In her head, the same phrase repeated like a broken record. It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence.
That sailor suit's so hot, it's on fire.
Startled by the voice, she lifted her head. A man, seemingly a college student, stood by the Hachiko statue as if waiting for someone. He stood alone, his back turned to Kozue, and spoke into the phone pressed against his ear. His voice echoed in her head.
Sailor suit so hot, it was on fire. Sailor suit was so hot, it was on fire.
The man did not turn toward her. The phone remained against his ear. He seemed to be listening to whoever was speaking on the other end. However, not once did the man chime in or nod. He simply stood there, still as could be. Was he really on the phone?
Yeah, my bride from the seashore is fantastic.
The voice echoed once again. She could not understand how or why, but the man was speaking of things related to her painful past. She began to tremble. It frightened her to even as so much as look at the man. She slowly crouched down on the spot, covering her ears. It's all coincidence. This is all one big coincidence. God. She continued silently chanting this to herself. As she sat there, crouching in place, an hour passed. Many people had passed by, but none tried to speak to her. When she finally managed to timidly raise her head, she found that the man was long gone. Jesus. That's it! That's all you're giving me, huh? Okay. Anyways, I don't even have enough water to comfort me for this. Hello, you, we've already done your ending, so leave me alone. That was just terrifying and depressing hearing. So Kozue was kind of being followed by all of her fears and things that happened to her. I do not want to see you naked again. School uniform. Hello, Ban. Hello, Sua. I feel like we're starting closer. I don't know, actually. Does the chapter end here? It does. Chapter 5. Considering how the other endings have been, I'm very scared about us seeing Kozue's, honestly. Hello. Throw it. I just have this disturbing feeling in the back of my mind. It is interesting, though, that you're going to be the second to last ending we see, Rimi's. The guide, with the endings we have left, the current route of endings that we're going are Kozue's, the one we're doing right now, then Seina's, then Rimi's, and then the true final ending, or whatever. I don't know if it was considered the true ending, I don't know. But I would assume it'd be the true ending, considering it requires all the other endings. I don't know. Maybe I. Excuse me. There goes Takashina. There goes a robot murdered by Sena. Farewell. I still think it looks like a cactus that she cuts up. I don't know. It looks like it's in the shape of a cactus. Whoa. Wonder if there's going to be any more intermissions revolving Kozue. Or Kozupi. Hello, Kozupi. Kozupi. I feel like Rimi's is going to have the most, like, intermissions. I mean, maybe that's obvious, but I just feel like she's going to be the one that adds, like, the most information. Up, here we go! We're getting closer. I just have to make sure I avoid the bad end again. It was yes, yes, no, no, yes, I think. I've done it so many times at this point that I feel like I should have it memorized. Hello, S-H-O-U-G-U-N. Hello, Ayase. This is interesting how you can actually see, like, the sign of her, of how she views the world during that specific, whatchamacallit, like, perspective change. Anyways, hi, Sena. Whee! Evil to evil communication. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. Whose phone is ringing? Stop with your infernal beeping. Give me 5. Alright, so we're getting close to the end of chapter 6 at least. Should I look back at the guide just to be safe? No, I've surely got it memorized at this point. Surely. Surely? Surely. Well, we're about to find out. If I'm wrong, I waste a lot of time. Yes. Yes. No. No. Yes. Okay, we're good. Once again. Neutral delusion. Hello, Darth Spider. Booga booga. Murder with sword. Hello. Clatter, clatter. Evil weird smiles. Hello, evil nurse. I'm still surprised that I didn't realize, like, the moment that I saw that on my first playthrough of the game that, or my first go around, like, that Hazuki had the same drawing as Grimm, I should have noticed then and there that, oh, they're the same person. I don't know why I didn't even put that 2 and 2 together. I feel like I don't put some of the most obvious things together when I should. Anyways, we're getting real close, I think, at this point. Things should start changing pretty soon. Sorry, random students, but you get to suffer one final beatdown. Punch, punch. I wonder if things are going to start changing as soon as Kozupi, like, starts hanging out with, Takumi. Because it's right around here. Yep, here we go. There's little indication there were any people present in the back alley of Center Guy. The breathing of a girl, Orihara Kozue, could faintly be heard resounding through it. Oh, they're dead. She cradled a gargantuan sword. Or perhaps it was not a sword. Its unique shape brought its identity into question. It was more akin to a snowboard. The sharpness of the blade could not compare to one, however. Its surface was stiff, and it exuded a brutish aura. Wielded against another person, it could slice through them with ease, all while grinding every bone in their body to dust. Maroon blood trickled down the blade, clinging to its edges. A young man in front of Kozue attempted to crawl away. Despite the puddles of filthy water, he tried desperately to get even a little bit farther away from her. Kazui's face held a brilliant grin as she stared at the man. There was no trace of her usual cowering, timid personality. She was enjoying herself. Her cheeks were flushed, perhaps from excitement. The sword in her hand had been used on 2 others before the man, and had been a remorseless bloodbath. Kazupi's not going to kill you, but baddies need to be punished. The faces of the vulgar young men were bloodied and swollen. Until only moments ago, they had been tormenting Kozue's classmate, Nishijo Takumi. She had heard the voices of their hearts by chance, multiple boorish voices that had wrenched their way into her head as she was passing by. Uh-oh. Piece of shit, don't look down on me, you Esper freak, die, I'll beat you to death, you little shit. Come on, whoop your ass, fucking die, you Esper, shut goddamn mouth, shut, fuck, I'm so pissed off, I'm gonna end you. The stupid bitch give me a cold shoulder, the revenge, fuck, shut the hell up. Run out, fucking die, fake your fucking Esper, hell it doesn't take to kill you, fuck, just die. This shit's just what I was told to do. Do this shit, get the money. Make a shit ton of money, I fucking mop. Feels good beating people to the pulp. It's real fucking fantastic. I don't give a shit about the world. There's nobody who can fucking stop me. Police won't do shit. My old boss won't do shit. My fucking mom won't do shit. Nobody but me is on fucking top. I want to kill them. From the cluster of voices formed by perverse hearts, a single voice of rage and hatred rose above. Recognizing the heart's outcry as Takumi's, Kozue had come running to where he was. And she had then attacked the bad men. One more person and justice would be dealt. The threat to Nishijo Takumi and herself would be eliminated. For that reason, Kozue refused to let this young man crawl away. There would be no escape. Take it back. I'm sorry. I'll die. I'm gonna die. You'll fucking kill me. I'll die. I'll die. I'll die. I don't want to die. It's not fair. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I'm gonna fucking die. My guts will spill everywhere. I don't want to fucking die. I want to keep living. I want to live a good life. I want to do all the stuff I always wanted to do. The young man's heart frantically pleaded for mercy. Kazui's blind smile did not fade. Oh, that's horrid. She gripped him by the back of the hand, grabbing a fistful of hair and forced him upright. She accomplished this despite the immense disparity in their physical appearances. Lacking the willpower to resist, tears welled up in his eyes as he begged for mercy from the innocent little girl. Kazui's answer was a swift denial, but it was not one she voiced aloud. She simply mouthed the word one letter at a time with her small mouth. N-O. Oh, that's terrifying! Lifting it above her head, the gargantuan sword roared as it approached the man. Bye, motherfucker! With one blow, his jaw was pulverized. His shrieks reverberated throughout the alley. The man was blown away, then collapsed in a heap. Blood would have spattered all over Kozue's clothes, but she had used her blade to shield herself, allowing her to avoid such an event entirely. With a nod of satisfaction, Kozue erased her sword. She then glimpsed at Nishijo Takumi, who was collapsed in the corner of the alleyway. Oh, that is absolutely terrifying. Breathing loudly, her heart murmured.
Kazupi wanted to kill them for you, but Kazupi's gonna stop here.
That is absolutely horrifying. To know that that face is not just merely a delusion. That terrifying smile she makes is not just a delusion. Knowing that delusional, that smile of hers is not just something we see in a delusion is awfully scary. She doesn't even look like the same person. I thought it was bad when Rimi loses her soul whenever she becomes like evil looking. But no, that doesn't hold a candle to what Kozue becomes whenever she gets angry. You scare me, Kozue. You really scare me. Yippee! Anyways. Murder. Almost there. Hello. Hello. Are we gonna see Kozue go absolutely insane in her own ending? That's what I'm kind of afraid of. That's what I feel like is gonna happen. I feel like Kozue is gonna become, like, actually psychotic in her own ending. That's what scares me the most, I think. The very idea that she's more than likely going to become insane in her own ending. And she's going to have that very villainous expression. Oh, here we go. Alright, what is this ending called? If we save the game, we get the ending named... The Sickness Unto Slaughter. Oh, this is an incredible title name for a chapter. I can't wait to see everyone die at this rate. Because that's what's going to happen.
That car again.
Before Shinsen Station, Orihara Kozue stood petrified. Over the past several days, she had been going back home from here rather than Shibuya Station, all because of the white car that had been following her. Today, the white car appeared once more. As if waiting for someone, it was parked in front of the station. Stricken by this, Kozue froze dead in her tracks. The passenger side window slowly began to roll down before stopping nearly halfway. Suddenly, the hand of the passenger emerged from the opening. Within their palm, a handheld mirror was clutched tightly. Through her eyes, it felt almost as if they were taunting her, goading her. The raw terror alone made her feel as if she may stop breathing at any moment. Refusing to wait even a moment longer, Kozue whipped around and took off running. Focused entirely on her attempt to get away, she had no capacity to maintain proper footing, falling and scraping her knees many times as she sprinted. Upon reaching Miyashita Park, she took refuge on a bench and continued trembling well into the night. However, she could not afford to embrace her niece forever. Despite her fears, Kozue decided it was finally time to make her way back to Shibuya Station. There it is. But when she reached it, it was parked there too. The exact same car from before.
No, stop it.
Though she had no destination in mind, she bolted once again. Tears poured down her cheeks with no end. Doubt was all that filled her mind. Who could it possibly be in that white car? What could they possibly hope to gain by harassing her? When she came to her senses, she realized she had found her way back to Shinsen Station. Given that the car had been at this very station earlier, the last thing she wanted was to return to it. Taking her chances, she entered an unfamiliar narrow alley. Due to the lack of streetlights, the area was incredibly dim, something that only served to magnify the already intense dread in Kozue's heart. By this point, Kozue was already drained. She did not have the energy to continue running. Wiping away her tears, she kept up her desperate struggle, stumbling every other step of the way. And right when she thought she was about to hit the main road, the white car passed right in front of her. Kozue was shocked by its sudden appearance. It then traveled approximately 50 meters away from Kozue before stopping on the shoulder of the road. Its hazard lights flickered to life.
Stop. Stop.
She lost all willpower to run. No matter where she ran, they would always find her. As if it were reading her mind, the car would always anticipate where she would be. Sinking to the ground, she cradled her head in her arms.
Help me. Someone help me.
Within her heart, she cried out for salvation. But in the end, not a soul came to her rescue. Even as Kozue begins to stagger away in a fit of tears, the vehicle remained parked. And to the very end, whoever was inside made no attempt to show themselves. Why? Night, Harp. Yo. Night, Harp-kun. Been waiting for you. Another nude. What are you talking about? Aussie art here. New gen. Nude? New. Nude. Nude. 7th case. Alright. The Tokyo puzzle, once again. It's the same as before.
今日午前4時50分
Approximately
頃、警察の調
450.
べによりますと、3人とも胴体の部
Waist
分
severed in
3人の
half.
死体に渋谷では
Blah,
2ヶ
blah,
月ほ
blah,
ど前から猟奇
blah.
殺人事件が頻発しており、警察では今回の事件も
News
同一
clip
犯による犯行
photographs
の
of
可
3
能性が高いと
victims,
み
seen
て、
those faces.
昨日僕に絡んできた。
Ay, ay. Stare intently, Kozuki. She's terrifying. Definitely not. He really was committed to drive me insane. Yes. I feel like I need to get water, but I'll try and suffer through it. Oh, wait a minute.
Lately, Shibuya's been getting a lot more dangerous. Like yesterday, some cockroaches tried to get me, so Kazubi crashed and beat them up.
Kazupi. She was as far removed from normal as could be, and also a pretty big idiot. But because of that, something told me that if I had to depend on her, she might actually hear me out. Yep, so we're actually following it into asking Kozue for help, but I feel like this is going to end in the worst ways imaginable. Upon entering the classroom, I looked toward Rimi's seat. There was no one there. Next, I looked over at Kozupi's desk. Yay! She was in her seat, face down and huddled up.
Morning, Takumi-san.
Morning, Kozupi. I didn't make eye contact, but I greeted her with my inner voice. Female Doki... no different from yesterday. Male Dokuns didn't seem to have arrived yet. I'm very... just a reminder. I want to just make sure I saw it right. The sickness unto slaughter. We're going to be going on a mass murder spree in some form, I think. I don't see it happening any other way, I'm going to be honest with you. Yasumi-kun merely tossed a glance in my direction, not caring enough to greet me. I swear to God, Kozue? Kazupi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What is it?
I need your help. If I don't get help fast, someone's going to kill me.
Someone gonna kill you?
Yeah, that's why I want you to protect me. You can use your D-sword.
Hmm? But first... Takumi-san, you don't think Kazubi is dumb, do you? Do you?
Oof, exposed.
Oh, boo. Kazubi knew it. Takumi-san, you're such a meathead. Oh, well, on top of that, Kazubi's not gonna have to bang anyone up, will she? You know, there's a certain way Kazubi hurts all the baddies who try to hurt her. She tears them to itty-bitty pieces.
Okay, does everyone around me think I'm stupid? What is this? I'm just a poor innocent otaku who hasn't done anything wrong. All I want is to just shut myself inside my base and spend the rest of my life in there. I swear to God, it's like everything around me is screwing with me. Ah, what the hell? What did I do to deserve this? I've done nothing wrong. I'm a good person. Tokuns, they're the bad ones. And Shogun, too. Please, Kozupi, I need your help. Protect me from them. You even said it yourself the other day. Those cockroaches that say all those horrible things to me. They're even more worthless than I am.
Kazubi probably said that. But the problem is Kazubi doesn't know Mr. Shogun.
I know him all too well. He's this kid that looks like an old man, and he rides around in a wheelchair, and one day he's gonna show up out of the blue and kill me right then and there. He's the one who stole Nanami away.
Owie zowie. That really stinks a lot, Takumi-san.
Is that really all you have to say?
Kazubi wants to kill some baddies, but Saya-san told me that killing people is a big no-no.
Shit. Even Kazubi was on better terms with Sand than I was. With my head still down on my desk, I gritted my teeth and clenched my fists. What do I do? There's no one I can turn to except Kozupi. Sand kind of scares me, and even if she didn't, I doubt she'd have any interest in helping the likes of me. The only one I could rely on was Kozupi. School bell rang, bringing the day to a close, and me straight out of the classroom. Just like always, the class's token Dokuns were making fun of me for the whole Esper debacle. Just today alone, they'd already come after me at least 5 separate times. Seriously, didn't they have anything better to do? Could bullies like them only get their kicks from picking on others? The hell was wrong with normies? And people thought they were actually human? Don't make me laugh. Shutting myself in my base plate, so immersing myself in dazzling delusions with serotonin. That was what made me happy. Very happy. God, I was so pissed off. So pissed off, in fact, that I'd been doing nothing but cursing out those Dokun fucks inside my head the entire way home.
Takumi-chan.
I felt Kozue poke my shoulder from behind a few times.
Come on. Let's go walk home together.
Do you really have any interest in protecting me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, Takumi-chan. Kazubi's got a present for you.
A present? For me? Look at me. I think I just raised a flag.
Oopie, what's a flag?
Oh, it's nothing.
Well, anyways, anywhoosies, right now Kozubi and Takumi-chan should go somewhere nice and relaxing right now.
Somewhere nice and relaxing? Oh god. Oh no. The stairs! I knew it. There are no people around, so the description is pretty spot on. Then again, it is just a staircase, so that only makes sense. So why is it that I can't seem to calm down? Maybe it's because of that employee downstairs. Feels like he's been keeping an eye on me. Or maybe it's because Kozubi and I are speaking telepathically. We aren't making any noise, so from an outsider's point of view, we probably just look like a bunch of freaks making faces at each other in total silence.
Is Kozubi really a freak?
I mean, when you just stare at people while staying completely silent, what do you expect?
But then when Kozubi and Takumi-chan talk like this, no one can hear their secret conversations.
What, these are supposed to be secret?
Nope.
The sheer amount of energy you really have does tire me out. Some things never change, though.
Kozubi's really sorry. Kozubi didn't know Kozubi was tiring Takumi-chan out. Kozubi will do her best not to tire Takumi-chan out too much, too.
Whatever, can we just go back to what you were saying? Didn't you say something about present?
Oh, yeah. So, you see, whenever Kozubi makes a new friend, she always gives them a present as a present.
As she spoke, Kozubi started rummaging around in her bag.
Back when Kozubi met Sei-chan, Sei-chan got one, too. 1, 2. Where is it?
Candy!
Oh, Kozubi knows. Takumi-chan, do you want to give Mr. Candy a little licky-lick?
She offered me a piece of candy. Just what the hell is she actually keeping in her bag? Yum. For now, though, I just took the candy and wrapped it and popped it in my mouth. It was lemon flavored. The tangy flavor spread throughout my mouth. Very refreshing, honestly. Was that the present, Kozubi?
Nope, that's Mr. Candy that Kozubi's always serving all the times.
And you just expect me to know that?
Okay, here's Takumi-chan's present for realsies now.
Ooh! She happily pulled out a number of fanciful accessories from her bag, each one made up of a bunch of colorful beads. How are those?
These are Kozubi's clickety-clackities. They're bracelets, celery phone straps, rings, hairpins, charms, and much more.
Did you make all of these? By hand?
Well, no. Kozubi tried to make them herself, and when she did, they all broke a lot and got all even more extra clickety. So Mommy made all of them for Kozubi. Kozubi loves beads a super duper whole lot. Kozubi loves them so much he calls them all clickety-clackies to show it.
So Kozubi suddenly grabbed my hand. The sheer warmth and softness of it made my heart skip a beat.
Takumi-chan, your heart just jumped.
Only because it was a surprise attack.
When Takumi-chan's heart goes jump, Kozubi starts to jump up and down too. Thump, thump.
With a smile still on her face, Kozubi handed me something made out of beads. It was probably a cell phone strap if I had to guess.
This one's for you, Takumi-chan.
I don't want it. Murder.
Oh no, is this Kozubi imposing? It's just Kozubi gives these to all her friends. Kozubi wants everyone to get a clickety-clackety.
With a turn With a turn that would give anyone whiplash, Kozue burst into tears. Oh, why does she have to be so quick to cry all the time? I mean, this isn't something a girl would wear. Isn't this something a girl would wear? I feel weird putting it on.
Oh, boy. Kozue gets to know. So Kazupi's just causing problems for Takumi-chan by giving Takumi-chan a present. You know, Takumi-chan's the second ever person Kazupi's ever given a clicky-clacky to. Big sniffle.
The presents could be, Kozue made to take back the cell phone strap, but I quickly pulled my hand back and jammed it into my jacket pocket.
Takumi-chan?
I changed my mind. I'll take it.
But why? Why?
She said she gives a present to all her friends, yet I'm the only the second person to get one. In other words, Kozue must not have any friends. So the first one she gave was to Sena, no doubt about it. Huh. I kind of feel...
Takumi-chan feels sorry for Kozue, huh?
Shit, I forgot Kozue can read all my thoughts. Honestly, as much as I feel sorry for you, I think we're actually the same in some ways.
Yeah, hey, Kozue was actually thinking the same thing about Takumi-chan. The first time Kozue went to school, when she saw Takumi-chan, she was like, he looks like he's in a lot of pain.
I swear, I'm sorry. I need to take an intermission break here. My mouth is going to fall apart trying to talk like Kozue. I need to slap myself a bit. Hit the jaw. Alright, let's get back to it.
And since Kozue was also in pain a lot, she thought, wow, Kozue and you are the same, and felt a whole lot better.
It's the same, huh? Reminds me of what Sena told me about Kazubi's life before she transferred. She and I really are alike. We're both closed off to the world, we're both at the mercy of the malicious entities surrounding us. We both avoid crowds, both avoid human contact, both afraid of people, and we both like hiding away by some dimly lit staircase, making ourselves unnoticed.
Kozue just wants to live a normal life.
As she played with the clickety-clacky in her hand, Kozue had a faraway look in her eyes.
Kozue wants to make friends, then play together, eat lunch together, study together, work really hard to get ready for culture festivals together, talk about love together. A normal life with all of that. That would be more than enough for Kozue. Kozue never wished for anything special.
Suddenly, the expression on Kozupi's face disappeared, and then she tore apart the clickety-clackety she had been playing with. The beads went everywhere, rolling and tumbling down the stairs. I've been thinking the same thing. Why am I the only one that has to suffer like this? I always ask myself, what did I do to deserve this?
Kozue did a thing to deserve it, you know? A bad thing.
Kozubi stuck out her tongue, and her smile came back. A bad thing? Do you mean the thing where you cut off your classmates' arms, or...
It's when Kozue wished to kill. Kozue wished that she could really kill everyone that ever bullied her.
You really are pretty twisted.
But wishing for a bad thing isn't a bad thing in itself, right? Huh? Does Takumi think that wishing for bad things is bad? Because it's bad, wishing for bad is bad. Because it's bad, wishing for bad is bad? Bad. It's super duper bad, huh? Well, back on topic. Negative emotions are not something to be repudiated. That's what the strange old person with the board said. It's cause Kozue wished for a bad thing. Kozupi's sword became a power for Kozue, and Kozupi's D-sword protects her now. So, since Kozue has it, Kozue doesn't need to be normal or anything anymore.
Are you sure? Have you really given up trying to live a normal life? Are you sure that's what you want? That you won't regret it?
Kozue doesn't like things that are annoying. And the world's filled only with baddies anyway, too.
What about Sena? Do you think she's a bad person, too?
Sena-chan is Kozupi's friend. She's not a bad person.
The voice of Kozupi's heart sounded incredibly happy.
Neither is Takumi-chan. You're all clickety-clackety friends, too.
if we could all think like Kozue does, life would probably be a whole lot easier. Or is the reason Kozue thinks this way because she was broken at some point in the past? That's not really something I can answer. While I might complain all the time about the world around me, inside my head that is, at the end of the day, all I want is for someone to help me. That's all I ask. While I may have thought we were similar, I guess Kozue and I really are different.
Nope, Kasupi and Takumi-chan are the same.
For some reason I didn't understand. Kozue seemed very convinced of that. She then vigorously stood up.
Alright, time for us to go home.
As soon as I left her mouth, Kozue raced down the stairs. And then, in a display that was very in character for her, she slipped and fell on the very last step. Nice job, genius. The inside of Roft was as packed as ever. With a slight limp, Kozue made her way through the building. There were tears in her eyes. Are you okay?
Don't worry, Kazupi's used to falling her over.
Kozue flashed a brave smile. But that smile quickly faded. Kozue stopped dead in her tracks, and her gaze shot straight behind me. When I glanced over my shoulder to see what she was looking at, I saw a bunch of mirrors for sale. Everything from hand mirrors to full-on dressers were on display. With a stiff expression, Kozue looked away from the mirrors and started to quickly walk away.
See you tomorrow, Takumi-chan.
The voice of her heart held not even a trace of the energy from before. I ran after Kozue, but I had taken too long to do so, and now I couldn't see her anywhere. I hadn't said anything to her about wanting us to leave together, but she was the only person I had left. Losing her started to make me freak out, and I could feel the anxiety slowly welling up. Being all by myself, especially in the center of Shibuya, I really didn't like it. The mere sight of the human stampedes moving along caused sweat to bead all over me. So knowing I couldn't take it, I gave up on trying to find Kozue and decided to hurry back to my base. What was that? I heard something. The loud clicking sound of a camera shutter. I shifted my gaze toward the sound, but I couldn't see anyone with a camera. That's when I realized. The sound hadn't been an actual camera, but a cell phone. That explained why the sound had been so clear. And yet, despite the realization, I still couldn't locate anyone that was pointing a cell phone at me. Was I just too on edge? No, that couldn't be it. My social suicide would have been incredibly well known throughout Japan, especially considering how much people freaked out over Asper's. So it wouldn't have been all that strange if there were people who found it amusing to snap random photos of me. The streets were overflowing with people. Well, at least none of them were looking at me. Don't look at me. Biting my lip, I continued dragging myself forward. I hung my head as low as possible so as to not be recognized. There it was again. Someone had taken a phone of me again. And this time I knew for a fact I had felt their gaze on me. It wasn't the usual God's gaze, but a gaze harboring nothing but pure malice. Who? I looked around, and yet after all that, there was still no one there. Who the hell are you? Stinging foes like a goddamn peepee Tom? Sue the fuck out of you for violating the rights to my likeness. But it wasn't like they were ever going to hear me cursing them out inside my head. And I very much didn't have the courage to say it out loud. Even if I did, it'd only bring even more attention to me. I went back to walking. This time I doubled my speed, weaving as best I could between the herds of pedestrians clogging the road. The sounds only got worse. The sharks continued to chase me. Then I thought I heard someone giggle. Stop. I looked around again. There were a number of people holding their cell phones at eye level. A middle-aged businessman, a woman in a suit, a high school boy, and some Dokun girl. A pretty varied selection. As I moved, they would move their cameras in an attempt to follow me. Don't look at me. Don't take pictures of me. I couldn't take it anymore, so I took off running in our direction, but it didn't matter how long I ran. It didn't matter how far I ran. It didn't matter how many people I thread the needle through. The sound always found me. The gaze always caught up to me. Every time I thought I got away from the noise, it always started up once again. In my head, it was like my enemies were multiplying without end. Eventually, I ran to the red light, forcing me to stop. Planting my head on my knees, I tried as best I could to catch my breath, all while the noise of the shutters persisted. My gaze trained downward. I clenched my fists as I tried to stomach the humiliation. That's all I could really do at that point. Suddenly a thought occurred to me. Was this noise really being produced by such a large, unknown number of people? Wouldn't they all be taking way too many photos? Sure, I was basically a celebrity now, but I wasn't famous. I was infamous. Photos of me wouldn't be worth jack shit. I'd say most people considered me to be a walking piece of trash at this point. So I just couldn't get over how strange it was that the world had picked today of all days to start taking all these photos of me. And they weren't even hiding it, either. It's a Shogun. But was he orchestrating this attack on me right now? Just leave me alone already! What the hell have I ever done to you? What the fuck is your problem? I want to kill him. After breaking me completely while I watched from the shadows, he was finally going to kill me once and for all. This malicious harassment wouldn't be enough. That would be the next new gen case, murdered in some horrible, grotesque fashion. Therefore, I have to kill him before he kills me. I grabbed my head with both hands. I had a pounding headache. And yet, despite it all, I still didn't feel God's gaze. Despite the countless photos being taken via cell phones, Shogun's typical gaze wasn't following me at all. I want to kill him. Suddenly, everything went quiet. The rapid snapping of camera shutters completely disappeared. Surprised, I started to look up. Only to hear a sound that I had heard many times before. Right behind me, within the silence, came a quiet creaking noise that I would never have heard otherwise. I sensed a presence. Someone in a wheelchair was right behind me. But who? I laughed at my own wishful thinking. Their identity was obvious. It was him, Shogun. Ignoring the red light entirely, I leapt into the crosswalk. My ears were assailed by a chorus of horns, and one vehicle was on a brink of running me over just before barely managing to screech to a halt. But I couldn't look back now. I had to keep running as hard as I could. Even though I'd made it back to my base, I was still haunted by the sound of those shutters. Moving to a nearby residential area hadn't helped either. Even though I'd been entirely deserted, I could still hear the endless clicking and clacking of the shutters. It was as if they'd been seared into my very eardrums. Every person I passed would take out their phone just to get a shot at me. Not one of them said, "Oh wow, please let me shake your hand," or "Ew," as I moved past them. No one even so much as grinned at me. No, nothing but expressionless faces taking pictures with their cell phones. So I just continued to walk past them, pretending like they weren't even there. Clearly something strange was going on. I didn't sense even a hint of malice nor ill will from them. They felt entirely mechanical. Yeah, kind of like automata. Except in this case, there was someone actively controlling them. I sat in the corner of my room, legs gripping tightly against my chest as I curled up into a ball. All I could do was continue to grind my teeth out of sheer frustration. It was all him. It was all Shogun's doing. While en route to my base, I'd heard it. The sound of a creaking wheelchair. I'd only heard it once, and I hadn't turned around to check, but there was no doubt in my mind. My hands wouldn't stop trembling. Glancing at the time, I realized it was already 11 p.m. I spent 5 hours scared shitless. Letting out a deep sigh, I lashed out at him inside my head. I hope you die, I hope you die, I hope you die, I hope you die. The worst part about Shogun was that he didn't kill you quickly. He would gently wrap a silk cord around your neck, and over time he would slowly tighten that cord, before eventually you would suffocate. And because of that, I knew exactly how he was. Anxiety flared up within me, and I began to dread even going outside. Help me, Kozue. I can't fight Shogun on my own. I don't even have my own D-sword. There's nothing I can do. Kozue, why won't you help me? I had to think. Somehow I had to come up with a way for Kozue to protect me. She could read my mind, so I definitely couldn't lie to her. Then what about money? Would she help me if I offered her compensation? That noise just now. With a horrible gulp, I squeezed myself into an even tighter ball and strained my ears for the slightest sound. I just hallucinated it. Yeah, that was the most obvious answer. I hadn't hallucinated it. It was the sound of a wheelchair. I could hear it coming from outside. I immediately held my breath and strained my ears even harder, trying desperately to hear any noise coming through the wall. There it was. He was outside. Wait, maybe I was just imagining it. Maybe I was just imagining him slowly moving closer and closer to me. I wasn't just imagining it. He was wheeling around the outside of the container. I heard his voice. It was Shogun's laugh. He was laughing. In the dead of night, he was sitting outside my container in his creaky little wheelchair, laughing. But it didn't end there. The very next second, I heard the sound of a cell phone's camera shutter. Had Shogun taken a picture? What had he taken a picture of? The container? No. It wasn't just Shogun. There were other people there. And not just 2 or 3. It felt like there was at least 10. They were all taking pictures with their phones in perfect unison. The sound of the shutters echoed off the walls and coiled into my ears. This wasn't possible. A delusion like this was just that. A delusion. If I peeked outside, surely nobody would be there. It was just some simple hallucination. Sure, the container walls were pretty thin, but there was still no way I should have been able to hear the shutters or the laughter or the wheelchair. And definitely not this clearly. I didn't have the courage to go outside and check for myself. Fear overwhelming me, I burst into tears and wrapped a blanket around my head in an attempt to cover my ears. Don't come in. 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 How much time had passed? It had only been about 10 minutes, but it felt like 10 hours. I threw off the blanket and got up as quietly as I could. I listened carefully. I didn't hear anything outside. All I could hear was the sound of my PC. So it really had just been a hallucination. Yeah, it had to have been. Just to be sure, though, I should check outside. There was no way anyone was out there, but still. Even if someone had been there, surely they wouldn't be there anymore. I positioned myself by the door. There was a padlock on the inside, keeping the door locked. Retrieving the key, I stuck it inside the padlock. But I didn't have it in me to turn the key that easily. My heart was pounding out of my chest, and my nerves refused to calm down. I was terrified. The mere thought of opening my door absolutely terrified me. This could have all just been some old bait. Someone could be outside right now, buying their time as they waited with bated breath for the opportune moment to strike. I wanted to tell myself that something like that would never happen to me, but it was pointless to even try. I'd been deceived over and over again, and I couldn't take it anymore. I was so tired. Why couldn't I just be left alone? Why did I have to endure these horrible, absurd trials? They were just too much for me. Fuck, fuck, fuck! I slammed my fist into the door with a loud bang. The noise resounded incredibly loudly, and my hand immediately hurt like hell. No sound came from outside. There were no signs of anyone being out there. There was nobody there. Of course there was nobody there. You'd have to be stupid to think there was somebody there. I bit my lip so hard, blood began oozing out. And with that, I somehow found the strength to remove the padlock. And then, I slowly opened the door. In an attempt to investigate, I peeked my head out from my pace. There was nobody there. It was still as death. Nothing moved. There was no sign of Shogun's creaky wheelchair, nor his laugh, nor the cell phone camera shutters. Nothing. Is anyone there? I waited for a moment, but there was still no response. But of course there wasn't. There was nobody there, so of course nobody would reply to me. That was just common sense. Nervous as could be, I began to check even further outside, shifting my gaze toward any shadowy areas I could see. Yeah. No one was there. Everything I'd heard, I'd hallucinated. All the repeated extreme stress had caused me to start breaking down. Yeah, that made perfect sense. I just got scared and ended up losing it. look at me, tearing up. God, what an idiot. Can't believe how stupid I am. Steer stress I was feeling left me trembling as I laughed at my own pathetic state. Look at this dumbass. It was laughable, really. I couldn't help but laugh. Man. I was so worn out. Going back to my room, I let my serotonin figure soothe my soul. Next, I sat down at my PC and logged into Frepara. That was where I checked for new updates in the Bloodtoon community. I could also see if my friends posted any status updates. A sense of dread was building within me. Something wasn't right. The list of my friends' statuses popped up on my display. None of it was from any friends whose names I typically saw. Oh, hey, Hazuki. What the? Miku Miku, Gingan Ein, Miracle Claudia, Suitable, Drabushulgliv, Master Chire, Kuretarion, Idod Majin, Digitaru, Suicide Girl, Human Flare, Soba Shop Slut, Shidancho, Hazuki, Valentino, Arrival at site, inside the elevator, rising elevator, arrival, wheelchair, beginning of the festival, commemorative photograph, rooftop nightscape, container wall, sink, shower, double doors, stairs leading to rooftop. Oh, Jesus Christ. The list had been bombarded by a single name posting over and over again in quick succession, burying all the other posts. Spider? The friend's name being Spider. Did I even have a friend with that handle? Well, I'd be lying to myself if I said I knew all my friends. I had over 100 of them, so it'd be stupid to make that claim. It looks like Spider had ran around 15 entries in the past 30 minutes or so. Oh no. Don't like this. When I saw the titles of the posts, I gulped. Before I knew it, my throat had gone completely dry. For one reason or another, I was struck with an immense sense of deja vu. When I saw the tiles, I had a feeling I knew exactly what the contents would be. With trembling fingers, I moved that mouse and clicked on one of the entries. Yep. This has to be the front of this very building. The postcard contained a single image, and by the looks of it, had been taken with a cell phone. There was no text nor anything else in the post, just the image. There's no doubt that this photo was of the Kurenai conference hall. It seemed to have been taken at night, too. Can't be right. It was just my mind playing tricks on me. I forced a dry smile as I clicked on another post. There's no way! Despite me crying out in disbelief, even I could have predicted what was to come just by reading the title. And yet the horror gave rise to countless goosebumps across my skin, each bump like a stewing bubble of sheer dread. Those noises, they'd just been hallucinations, hadn't they? The sound of the wheelchair, the sound of Shogun's laugh, the sound of cell phone shutters. Had those sounds actually been real? Had someone actually been outside my base, until only a short while ago, taking pictures and uploading them with her phone? The latest post was titled, The Man of the Hour. The timestamp read 12:14. Right now it was 12:21. Last update had been 7 minutes ago. It's not real. It can't be real. Who's the man of the hour supposed to be? Who the hell could it be? I really didn't want to look, but I just couldn't bear not to. I'd never been able to calm down otherwise. I quickly snapped my gaze to the door and back. I had to make absolutely sure that the lock was on correctly. And right after I did that, scary as could be, I clicked the latest status update. It was a picture of me. Just a moment ago, I had opened the door to see who was there. I thought nobody was out there. But someone had been outside. The one halting her was a classmate of hers, Ninomiya Minako.
Oh yeah, mind if we talk a sec?
Kozue winced at the clear animosity laced in her words. Moreover, Minako was not the only one there. 5 girls stood behind Minako, lying in wait. All of them were her classmates, but Kozue was unable to recall their names and faces.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't mind. So, you coming?
She remained unresponsive and unsure of what to do. Kazui's quivering shoulders were then shoved not by Minako, but by one of the other girls behind her.
Come on, say something.
Feeling entrapped by the crowd of girls, tears began pouring out from the corners of her eyes. Her captors were quick to take notice, growing even further agitated.
Oh, give me it. There's no way you're fucking crying. Just come on already.
She refused to go with them, for she had a horrible feeling about the events to come. But when they grabbed her by both arms, she knew that she no longer had a choice in the matter. They brought her out to the rooftop. 10 more girls were waiting up there. Nearly every one of it was a classmate of hers. When she realized this truth, Kozue was left deeply confused. Kozue could predict very well what would happen from this moment. She could acutely feel the intense malice directed at her from those present. Kozue shook in fear from the sheer amount of negative delusions flowing into her. Despite her best efforts to endure, her tears simply would not stop flowing.
Is she crying already? Oh, really? You can't be serious.
Even though Kozue had only just transferred to school, her peers held nothing back in their barrage of insults. Of course, she was well aware of the bitter hatred the girls felt for her. Try as she might to block out their inner voices in the classroom, the other animosity they held was not something she had been able to ignore. But despite such contempt, nobody had ever approached her in this manner before. She tried to run, but being surrounded by so many of her classmates never left her no route to escape with.
You ain't going nowhere. Minako's trying to talk to you, so you're gonna listen, and you're gonna listen.
Prompted by her classmate's threat, Minako glared toward Kozue with intense hatred. Minako's demeanor was that of a tall, rigid model, providing a heavy contrast to Kazue's small, petite frame.
Now listen here, Orihara. Keep your whole-ass eyes off my Daisuke, got it?
Despite them talking as if she should have known it, the name Daisuke was not one she was familiar with. But these words that would defend her would never leave her mouth. She simply made herself small, shrinking to the ground in order to withstand the fierce chaos and confusion.
You hear me, bitch? Cut the bullshit. I know you're trying to get your hands on my boyfriend.
Kozue frantically shook her head in denial. She had no recollection of this person at all. Then she at last realized that the person they spoke of was her classmate, Misumi. If that truly was who they were referring to, then Kozue had never had any intention of leering at him. In truth, it was quite the opposite. His entirely overt ulterior motives were nothing but a source of vexation to her.
Nobody likes you, you know that, right? You've been a real pain in the ass ever since you got here. Hey, why aren't you talking? Trying to act cute or some shit? I told you, she's totally fucking with us. Disgusting shit stain. Could be you got no problem talking to boys, but you haven't got the slightest interest in talking to us. Or maybe you're just not in the goddamn mood, whore. Say something, you ugly bitch.
They pulled her hair, struck her face, shoved her shoulders. There was no escape. They would not let her. Bullying. Beating up. Kozue shuddered in fear as those words floated through her mind.
Save me, Seiya-san. Save me, Takumi-san.
Her inner voice cried out, but it was clear that help would not arrive at any time soon. Before she had even moved here to Tokyo, this was how it had always been. No matter how much Kozue wished for someone to help her, it would never come. She had no choice but to bear it. If it were only this much, she could bear it. But that thought was just as transient as the last. From somewhere she could not quite discern, a noise faintly began to echo. The faces of her classmates immediately lost all expression. Each and every one of them reached into their jacket pockets in unison. And then, as if they had planned it beforehand, they all slowly retrieved something from within them. Each person... A mirror. Held a handheld mirror. Mirrors of all manner and shapes and sizes. Simultaneously, each and every girl turned the surfaces of their mirrors toward Kozue. It was like a cult performing a ritual. Within each mirror, Kozue could be seen stricken with the utmost terror, each silver screen reflecting a girl with eyes convulsing uncontrollably. Who are you? The nightmares that had once plagued Kozue began to resurface. She was losing the self she knew. She could not stop trembling. She shook her head violently in denial. Her eyes wandered between each mirror. As her head shuddered and shook, the convulsion seizing her eyes continued. Kozue tried to scream, but could only muster a feeble cry. kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. The dominance of dark, sickly delusions began to enshroud her mind. She then became cognizant of the D-sword clutched tightly in her hands. A faint beam of red light shone across the blade, flickering with a delightful shriek. Not a hint of its brutality was left concealed. Its mere aura fiercely intimidated all those who beheld it. Everything before it fell to ruin. Everything before it was consumed. Everything before it returned to nothing. And now, as it settled, her sword resided not in delusion, but in reality. Her once expressionless classmates awakened from their trance, greatly alarmed by what was unfolding. But by then, it was far too late. Tears pouring down her cheek, Kozue let out a scream. Her eyes could no longer see. With a single step, Kozue staggered forward. Effortlessly, she raised the D-sword above her head. At the present moment, it was Minako who was in her path. What came next would be appropriately referred to as an immediate bisection. From the left arm to the right shoulder, her body was ripped apart. In regard to what had happened to the girl, the word slash would have been far too disingenuous. Torn apart. Sickeningly extreme amounts of blood burst forth from her body. As she raised the D-sword aloft, this time Kozue staggered backward, as if the sword itself had drawn her back. Her body moved about adroitly, as if it were dancing. Despite her remarkably petite frame, she swung the gigantic sword around with incredible ease. Despite being far past death, Minako's corpse was further desecrated in obscene acts of violence. The freshly spilt blood danced in the air along with Kozue and her sword, dyeing the concrete crimson. Kozue, sapped of any remaining strength, collapsed seconds later in unison with what had used to be Minako. She was sobbing her heart out, the tears forcing her eyes to remain closed. Faced with that horrific display, her classmates stared in a daze, their mouths hanging agape. Not a single one moved from where they stood. It was as if they could not comprehend what had just occurred. Swaying slowly, Kozue returned to her feet. Her head hung low as the convulsive sobs assailed her. Pointing directly at her petrified classmates, blood trickled down from her D-sword.
I'll kill you.
The very next moment, innumerable shrieks ripped through the air before disappearing into the sky forever. They're all dead. Walking as fast as I could, I headed directly for my school. I kept my eyes up for anyone at all. If someone even dared to approach me, I'd run away as fast as I possibly could. I'd been hyperventilating for forever now, wheezing again and again, my throat desperately gasped for air. The sweat beaded endlessly on my forehead. No matter how much I wiped it away, it just kept coming. I was just going to school. I was just going to school so I could get Kozue to help with whatever the hell this was. I needed her to fight the bastards that were trying to break me. Kozue would definitely do it. She was completely broken herself after all. I wanted to kill them. I wanted to kill them. Shogun and his cronies needed to fucking die. There's no doubt in my mind that the people at my base yesterday had been Shogun and his underlings. You're finally calling the bullshit. And now they were gunning to finish the job. They targeted me, began their extensive mission to wear me down, and now they were moving to killing me in the sickest, vilest, most disgusting way they could possibly imagine. I couldn't take it. I didn't want to die, so I had to kill them before they killed me. That sound again. Yesterday I had heard the exact same creaking sound from behind me. I whipped around, wincing in anticipation of what might come, and yet not a soul was behind me. There was no wheelchair in sight. It couldn't have been a hallucination. I heard it right fucking behind me. Was Shogun still attacking me? I broke into a mad dash. No way in hell I was going to stand around all alone. And yet, it followed me. The sound clung tightly to my back. I could hear it directly behind me as I ran. Stop it. Get away. Stop chasing me. Don't look at me. I was about to snap. I no longer had the stomach to take another look behind me. I stumbled my way to the school gate. The bell still hadn't rung yet. I was on the verge of being tardy, but I could still see the art students here and there. Just looking at another person was enough to make me flinch. But if I didn't go in the building, I wouldn't be able to find Kozue. Stealing myself, I entered the school grounds. When I heard something once again. But it wasn't a wheelchair this time. It was a cell phone shutter. My gaze shot all around myself. Who the hell? Who'd taken the photo? Nobody was looking at me. Nobody had a cell phone out. What the fuck? What the fucking fuck? I covered my ears, and without looking where I was going, I bolted. Without stopping even once, I finally made it to the classroom. I was about to burst into the room, only to frantically stop dead in my tracks and turn right back around. The class Dokins were all assembled in there. The second my eyes had met one of them, I'd given up completely on going in. God damn it! This world was plagued with my enemies. Every single person was my enemy. All of you should die. Every fucking last one of you should die! Since I couldn't go in the room, I opted to just turn around and keep walking. Maybe a delusion or two about massacring those Token pieces of shit would cheer me up. I only glanced in the room, but I hadn't seen Kozue. Actually, there hadn't been any girls in the classroom at all. That's pretty strange, actually. But I still couldn't care less. All I cared about was figuring out where the hell Kozue had wandered off to. Of all the times for it to completely disappear on me, it just had to be now. I was still wheezing from before, my breath violently forcing itself in and out of my lungs. When they saw me like that, the art students walking down the hall stopped and stared. Don't look at me. Sound again. Looking back, I saw 4 Dokin guys I hadn't noticed before. They all had their biggest smirks on their faces. Each one their cell phones trained on me. Don't look at me! Ignore them, because we can just kill them later on. A solution like that sounds so exhilarating. Every last one of them dying a horrible death. I'd had enough of this fucking world! Kozue still was nowhere to be found. I had no idea where she was. Maybe she hadn't come to school today? But if that was the case, then what was I supposed to do? I really doubt I could fend off Shogun's attempts to break me, especially for a whole day. I've been pretending to be tough inside my head the whole time, but my knees were still shaking uncontrollably. And if I didn't stay focused for even 1 second, I'd likely sink to the floor and stay there. Kozue, where did you go? Where the hell did you go? Please, just save me!
Help.
Startled, I stopped dead in my tracks. I heard a voice. A voice in my head that felt like it'd come right next to me. Someone's inner voice.
It's not Kazupi's fault. It's really not Kazupi's fault. Oh.
Kozue, where are you? Looking around, I saw Kozue squatting down near a corner by the entrance, cradling her head. The moment I saw her, a gasp forced its way from my mouth. Her entire body was a deep crimson, as if waves of red from an ocean of blood had crashed down upon her. Sorry. No, it wasn't simply as if. She was undeniably covered in a ridiculous amount of blood. I wanted to scream, but my voice had stopped working. Kozue! Say something, Kozue! When I called out to her with my inner voice, Kozue slowly raised her head. Tears were flooding from her eyes, leaving them red and congested.
Takumi-san.
Without getting up from the ground, she grabbed onto my shirt. She clung to me as if her life depended on it. Who are you?
Takumi-san. Are you Kozupi's enemy? Or friend?
What's that supposed to mean? I tried to ask again, but she just buried her face in my chest and shook her head from side to side. The reddish-black blood coating her entire body seeped into my uniform and slowly spread through it. I never realized how small Kozue truly was. Her body was so fragile, it felt like I might break it at any moment. Only when I'd embraced her had I finally come to realize this. I'm your friend, Kozue. That's why I came to you for help. I only said what was on my mind. I was being fairly selfish, but Kozue was the only one I could turn to.
You won't be a bully to Kozupi?
I'm not gonna be a bully to you. The guys bullying me are my main concern. That's what's more important here anyway. I need your protection.
But Kozupi can't protect Takumi-san, you know.
What do you mean? You have a D-sword.
But I can't handle him very well anymore.
What, your D-sword? As I asked that inside my head, Kozue nodded, then nestled further into me.
So that's why Takumi-san, all the bing bang crashy stuff, none of it was Kazupi's fault.
Without warning, I was hit with a fierce impact. Images burst into my mind like an intense montage of flashbacks. The school, its rooftop, the fierce, rusty smell of blood. A sea of blood, endless chunks of meat strewn across the concrete, disconnected, disjointed hunks of flesh I couldn't identify. And Kazubi standing in the middle of it all her breathing heavy and a D-sword in her hands. And I then snapped back to myself, shocked. What the hell was that? That definitely been the school rooftop. But what were all those other images? Had they just been a delusion? But they had been different from how my delusions usually were. Maybe it hadn't been my delusion, but Kazupi's. I felt like Satan had said something about how giggle-maniacs can make other people see their negative delusions. So maybe that was what had happened. But placing that aside for now, Kazupi's bloodstained body clung to me. The blood on her was still wet. There were no signs that she'd been hurt, and she certainly wasn't acting like she had been. Therefore, the blood wasn't hers. I was trying my absolute hardest to conjure up an explanation for the amount of blood she was bathed in. There was nothing normal about this. It was utterly insane. Whose blood was this? Kazupi, whose blood is this?
It's from the bags that are being bullies to me.
Kazupi hung her head. She gently detached from me, then looked away as if she was in trouble. She raised her index finger to her lips. To me, it looked like she was sulking about something. Or like she was lapping up the blood on her finger. Isn't that someone else's blood?
Yeah, someone else's blood.
A feeling of dread surged up within me. Kazupi, if that really is the case, you went way too far, didn't you? The school bell rang loudly, telling us homeroom had started. There wasn't a single sign of any students around us. They'd all already gone to class. So I made up my mind and began to head straight for the classroom. Trying my best not to get caught, I stealthily peeked in from the window. What? And what I saw left me shocked. The homeroom had already started, and the teacher was standing at the front of the room. And just like I'd seen before, not a single girl was present inside the classroom. No way. I had to be sure. I had to be absolutely sure that it had all just been a delusion. Bad idea. I took off for the roof, then flung open the door leading to it. The first thing to hit me was the somber blue sky. And the next was nothing but pure crimson. A literal sea of blood. When hit with the remains of that horrifying scene, the physiological revulsion, the utter repulsiveness, the overpowering stench, they all pulled together, and I could no longer keep the contents of my stomach from emptying across the concrete.
You're Kazupi's friend, aren't you?
I jumped. When I turned around, Kazupi was standing right in front of me. Tears were welling up in the corners of her eyes. Still soaked in blood. She turned to me and smiled an innocent smile. I couldn't help but run away. I was afraid of Kazupi, for smiling in that situation, for killing them so brutally. I couldn't comprehend it. The people that had been there weren't people anymore. They were in pieces, and she'd done that to them. The scene on the rooftop had been burned into my mind and refused to leave. It repeated endlessly, looping over and over again in my head, and each time it did, I was hit with the most intense feeling of nausea. I lost how many times I'd tried heaved. I ran all the way around the school with no real destination in mind. Homeroom had already started, so there was no one in the halls. Kazupi wasn't following me. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Was running away a smart thing to do? Should I stayed with her? Should I stayed with her? Kazupi saw me as an enemy because I'd run away. Would I be fucked? If she started thinking me as an enemy, would she tear me to pieces like she had with those girls on the rooftop? Oh god, no, please, no! If that was true, what should I have done? Even if I went back to Kazupi now, I'd have no idea what to do or say. I just kept on running and running, almost tripping every couple seconds. And at the very next corner I went around, I very nearly ran into two people. It was Misumi-kun, together with one of the Dokuns from my class who made fun of me from earlier. He looked at me with a clear unease, while the Dokun stepped in front of me, blocking my path. The Dokun had the most malicious grin on his face.
Oh, what's up, Esper? Hey, I'm curious about your powers. You in the mood to give me a little demonstration?
I bit my lip. I didn't make eye contact. If I did, I knew I'd get punched right there and then. Dodoki made no moves to take out his cell phone. If he did, however, I very well might have lost and killed him, just like Kozupi had with those girls.
Seems like a few girls from our class decided to ditch. They haven't come back, so we're out on the prowl looking for them. Really? Don't you think a shit's a total waste of time? Assuming you're just worried about Minako or whatever, but she's the bitch who decided to ditch us. You agree with me, don't you, Esper?
I didn't respond. And as a result, a sharp pain ran through me as he kicked me in the hip. Don't ignore me, bitch.
Knock it off.
The second Misumi-kun spoke up, the Dokun stopped dead in his tracks. Daku, have you seen Minako? She was here before the bell went off. I've been calling and texting her, but she's not responding. No. I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell him about the tragedy that happened on the rooftop. I had no idea who Minako was, but I assumed that she was Misumi-kun's girlfriend. Could she have been among the tattered pieces of meat scattered across the rooftop? And what about Rimi? Had Kozupi killed her too? She shouldn't have. Rimi had been missing for a while, and she shouldn't have been at school either. Really, I can't believe I was still worrying about her after everything that happened. What the hell was I even expecting her to do? She's never going to come back anyway, so what was even the point?
Esper, why is there blood on your clothes?
A shudder ran through me. It was blood from when Kozupi had clung to me. It transferred from her onto me, and now it was fully covered the edge of my shirt. Oh no. No. The sickness unto slaughter. Don't tell me. It's spread. Don't tell me. Are we going in that kind of direction? Has the sickness of slaughter spread to Takumi now? Misumi-kun's eyes widened and he gasped. Taku, what the hell happened? Nothing. The second I left my mouth, I whipped around and ran away as fast as I could. I heard a voice calling after me, but I ignored it. I pulled it down the stairs. But in my chaotic frenzy, I lost my footing and tumbled all the way down to the landing. As I lay there on the ground, I lost all will to stand back up again. Would I ever be able to find peace again? Why did all these insane, horrific things keep happening to me, one after the other? A voice called my name. I only knew a single girl that called me that. I slowly, timidly looked up and saw a hand stretched out before me. Rimi!
What's going on? I've never seen you in such a hurry. Does it hurt anywhere?
It was Rimi. Rimi was here. Rimi, I felt tears starting to well up. Not wanting to embarrass myself, I fought them back and took the hand she was offering me. It was so very warm. Rimi pulled me to my feet.
Are you sure you're okay? That's a pretty bad fall.
She brushed off my clothes, not leaving a single spot on me untouched. Rimi, where were you? Where'd she been all this time? Why hadn't she contacted me? She said she would protect me.
Oh, me? I may or may not have been tardy today.
That didn't answer my question. But when I saw that confused airhead smile of hers, my fears ever so slightly subsided. This smile had saved my life many times before. And when I saw it, I no longer had any need to ask her where she'd been, or what she'd been doing. I didn't need to ask her why she hadn't contacted me. Rimi had come back to me, and everything would be okay now. No matter what enemy I might come to face, Rimi would protect me. Or would she? Would she truly protect me? Had Kozue really just so happened to not kill Rimi? A flicker of doubt appeared in the corner of my mind. It rose up in me like a passing thought. Had she been absent for all this time? But she just so happened to come back today? And then she just so happened to be late to school on the day she just so happened to come back? And then Kozue just so happened to commit murder on the same day Rimi had just so happened to come in late? No, don't think about it. Stay positive. Positive. I rub my temples with my fingers, trying to calm myself down.
You don't look so hot. Here, let me take you to the nurse's office. You can rest up a bit then there.
As she said that, Remy pulled me by my hand.
Come on, let's go.
Did Remy not know about the tragedy that had happened on the rooftop? But wasn't that only natural? She had said she'd been tardy today. And the fact she didn't dare to ask about the blood on my clothes was just her being considerate to me. It had to be. Remy attempted to pull my reluctant self down the stairs, but I planted my feet right before the entrance.
Taku?
She kept on trying to pull me along, pretty forcefully too, but I gently shook her hand off. Turning left in this hallway would bring us to the staff room, and after that the school nurse's office. From there, if we kept going straight and exited at the end of the hall, we ended up at the sports court outside, after which would be the school gate. I didn't want to see anybody today if I could help it. I didn't even want to walk through the school. Someone was going to find that slaughter up on the rooftop at any moment. And when they did, a huge panic would break out. I'd probably end up being the prime suspect since my clothes were caked with blood and all. That's why I wanted to get away from the school as soon as possible. I should just avoid the nurse's office and go straight to the entrance. I planned to tell Remy about the rooftop in Kozue, but when I turned around... Ah! Remy was holding something sharp and pointed. No. Was that a D-sword? It looked like a pair of steel wings. And the tips of the wings were pointed straight at me. Remy was about to stab me in the back any moment now. Our eyes met. Remy's eyes were filled with grief. She was the first to break eye contact. I'm sorry. Softly murmuring those few words, she brandished her sword. She was about to kill me. Remy was about to kill me. I lost control. The second she was about to swing, I gripped her wrist to protect myself. I was a lazy piece of shit and I practically never exercised, yet I still had enough strength to overpower her. Why? Why, goddammit! This bitch in the end, had Remy just been another enemy? She'd been lying to me the whole time, just like you had back then. But she's just trying to fuck me over too. Was Remy also one of Shogun's underlings? If she was an underling, did that mean she had been behind Nuchen the entire time? And I'd been right from the very start? Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry, but you have to disappear, Taku.
That's decided. There was no misunderstanding here. Remy really was my enemy. This was her true nature. All that shit about protecting me had been nothing but a lie. You're lying. You're nothing but a goddamn liar.
I'm sorry for lying to you. Please, Taku. Disappear.
Cut the shit. Cut the bullshit. You want me to disappear? All I can think about is how I trust you more than anything. About how I thought I could depend on you no matter what. How can you stab people in the back like it's nothing? You fucking demon girl.
Taku, I'm sorry.
Sorry isn't enough. Who the fuck do you think you are? I realized I was crying. A betrayal like this, I couldn't. The pure rage and frustration I was feeling right now. I felt with you, it didn't even come close. Remy had shit all over the feelings I had for her. I'll never forgive you. 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 I'm gonna kill you. I'll never forgive you. I'm gonna kill you. I'll never forgive you. I'm never gonna forgive you. Gripping her wrist even tighter, Remy's expression contorted in agony. But the pain I felt was far worse. You tore my heart to fucking shreds. I'll never forgive you. I can never fucking forgive you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna fucking...
Kazupi will kill her.
It happened in an instant. Right before my very eyes, Remy's figure vanished. Her Her body was blown to the side toward the shoe lockers and slammed right into them. She'd been done for the moment she'd hit the metal lockers, obliterating them in the process. Her body had torn into the wreckage, and now she could no longer be seen at all. A thick cloud of dust enveloped the room. At first, I had no idea what the hell had happened.
Takumi-chan's heart was crying out, and Kozupi heard it.
Right before me, brandishing her D-sword. It was Kozupi. Her expression was incredibly pained. Sweat shone on her forehead. Yet even despite those things, she still forced herself to smile at me.
Stuff like I'm gonna kill you and I'll never forgive you. So, Kozupi came and killed her for you.
Her inner voice threw all of that at me. You killed her. You really killed. I'm able to believe what I just seen. I approached the demolished shoe lockers. The D-sword that used to be Rimi's brushed against the tip of my shoe. It was lying on the floor, deprived of its owner. The liquid slowly pooled beneath the sword. Blood. Whose blood was it? I didn't have to think long to know. Eventually, the D-sword by my feet was enveloped by countless black particles and vanished into the air. Rimi was dead? Just like that. I didn't have the slight urge to confirm it. Sadness washed over me, and at the same time I was left with an inescapable sense of regret. I had killed my own emotions deep down. Had my feelings numbed me to everything? Or had I numbed my feelings to everything? It didn't matter anymore. At least the tears had finally stopped falling. Kozupi. Save me. Right now, Kozupi was the only one I could depend on. Even though Rimi had betrayed me, I still wanted someone to believe in. Or maybe I just want someone I could be with. Someone who would accept me. All that stuff about wanting to be protected. It was all just an excuse. I didn't want to be alone. Even if she might betray me. Even if I had been betrayed already. I didn't want to be alone. I couldn't bear all this awful bullshit on my own. If I was on my own, I guarantee it would cease to be me. I would cease to be me. I would just up and disappear. I approached Kozupi, desperate for someone to cling to. When I looked at her, what I saw was how terribly sad she looked. The sheer pain on her face. Her smile had long since disappeared. I made up my mind and embraced her tiny shoulders. She didn't fight it.
But Takumi-chan ran away from Kozupi before.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Please, save me.
Takumi-chan, are you Kozupi's friend?
Who could say how many people Kozupi had already killed? Who could say what would happen if the police caught us? Knowing all that, would it really turn out okay if the two of us stayed together? I asked myself such a question, but it didn't take long for me to find my answer. Right now I was together with Kozupi, and as long as we stayed together it would all turn out okay. We had bigger enemies than the police. Enemies that were far too dangerous to face alone. I need you, Kozupi. I want to be with you.
Takumi-chan, you're a really super selfish person.
Upon saying that, she wrapped her arms around my back. With what little strength she had left, she held me in return.
But since Takumi-chan said he needed Kozupi, Kozupi will do her bestest and give all the protection Kozupi has. Hey, it's like what that really dirty old guy said before. You don't need to hold back. Negative emotions are not something to be repredated. That's why when anyone bees a boy to Kozupi, Kozupi will kill him. And that goes for anyone who bees a bully to Takumi-chan too.
Feelings both cold to the touch and warm as the sun found their way from her to me. Feelings inside her that contradicted. Madness. kindness. But there was the same way her inner voice could reach me, or it was all in my head. I didn't know. Or as that thought drifted through my mind, a girl's scream echoed throughout the school grounds. It had come from the top of the building. Had she found the slaughter on the rooftop? We had to run. Kozue, if we stay here, the police will catch us. For some reason, the moment I let go of her body, she immediately sank to the ground. What's wrong?
Kasupi's so tired. Kazupi's body is super heavy. Hey, Takumi-san. Kazupi's heart, so many delusions are showing up. Blackest black delusions. It's like Kazupi's being crushed to bits.
Blackest black delusions? What do you mean? Regardless of what she meant, staying here was an option. With Rumi's corpse lying here, anyone who spied us would find out exactly what we'd done. So without getting an answer from her, I lent Kozue my shoulder and the two of us began to leave the school. We walked through the halls. It was nice if it would have been to just leave. We were both covered in blood. Kozue couldn't walk in her current state, and I had a feeling that if we went outside, we'd get hit with the cops all waiting for us out there, cliché. It was probably best to just hide out somewhere. Even one of the empty classrooms would work. The atmosphere was tense. The scream earlier had kickstarted a slowly growing commotion inside the school. Teachers quickly ran by us in a hurry. Students left their classrooms, ignoring that homeroom was still in session, and cautiously peered around the school to try and see what had happened. Shit, there were a lot of people. Maybe it would have been better to just leave after all. We had to hide somewhere. Somewhere like... There it was again. That noise again. Stop it. Just stop it. I was gonna go fucking insane. A few students pawed me from a distance. And not just students, but a few teachers too. Every single one of them had their cell phones out, and they were aiming them at us. And for some odd reason, they were all holding mirrors in the other hands. Coupled with a black rat, an infernal bloodlust sprouted inside my head. Something within me was about to snap.
Kazupi's gonna kill you.
Perhaps emboldened by my bloodlust, Kazupi's heart reeked of its own hunger for blood.
Kazupi's gonna kill you. Kazupi's gonna kill you. Kazupi's gonna kill you.
Kozue was reacting to the mirrors. Despite the fact that she was having so much trouble walking, she raised her D-sword over her head anyway. Kozue, don't do it! Clutching her petite frame, I tried to hold her back.
Kazupi's gonna kill you.
But I couldn't do it. Kazubi's body freed itself from me with a tremendous force. Pulled along by her sword, Kozue charged the group holding mirrors. Her legs tangled with one another. She nearly slipped and fell. And yet she still managed to move forward, swung her enormous D-sword. A bloodbath.
Die. Die. Die.
And with a single swing, she had claimed about 4 human lives. It was a staggering storm of destruction and brutality. Her movements and posture were like a novice's. If she leaned back any further, she'd fall over. And yet, her sword's trajectory was both abnormally accurate and fast. Her aim was precise as she claimed each and every one of their lives with a single blow. Almost like she wasn't the one swinging the sword. The sword was the one swinging her. As she bathed in fountains of blood, Kozue began to cower.
Kazupi hopes everyone just dies. Kazupi doesn't want to kill anyone. Kazupi's sword is acting on its own. But Kazupi should just rely on her sword. Is this the real Kazupi?
I could hear Kazupi's current mental state. Her mind was in total disarray, a total chaotic mess. I lent my shoulder to Kozue once more and climbed the stairs along with her. But at the very next moment, we ran into Misumi-kun and the other Dokun coming down the stairs. This is the first time we're actually seeing a different portrait from Misumi. This is weird. Shit, these guys again. I bit my lip.
Wait, am I seeing shit? What's with all the blood?
For a split second, the Dokun who spoke was taken aback, but the very next one, Misumi-kun grabbed me by the chest. His face was teeming with fury.
did it. You did it. You fucking killed Minako.
Seriously, who the hell was Minako? Noticing my confusion, the Dokkan told Misumi-kun back.
So, Misumi-kun, we can't say for sure if they did it or not. I mean, first off, how could two people do all that shit alone?
All that... They were definitely talking about the slaughter on the roof.
Listen close, Esper.
I'm not an
Fucking cannon shit for brains.
I tried to tell him I wasn't an Esper, but he wasn't having any of it. His threat caused me to shrink back. Feeling unbelievably pathetic, I began to wonder if Kazupi would murder everyone here if I wanted her to.
Kazupi can kill them. No, Kazupi doesn't want to kill them.
Kazupi's mind was a chaotic mess of conflicting, contradictory emotions.
Kazupi can't kill them. Kazupi should just give in and kill them.
Should she just give in? That was one thing I could never do.
Go on with this, Esper. You know your sister? Man, with how cute she is, you never know she was related to your ugly ass. Her name's Nanami, right?
What? What the hell does this Dokkan know about Nanami?
So yeah, I took it upon myself to show her a little bit of loving, alright?
What are you saying?
Do I really gotta spell it out for you?
The Dokkan, acting far too friendly with me, placed his hand on my shoulder. Even though he was a guy who was covered in the smell of perfume, the smell was so strong it made me want to vomit.
So we always fuck around with tagging other people, killing time for the sake of it. Comes up that we were in the mood to go out and get some. And get this offer. You know who was on the menu? Your sister.
Offer? Nanami was some fucking object to be offered? What the hell had they done to her? Like, no more importantly, who the hell had offered them Nanami?
Guy's name was Darth Spider.
All words left me.
Guy goes out of his way to approach us, hands over your sister and goes, do what you want with her. Like, damn, ain't that crazy? What a fucking deal.
My vision turned bright red. But then my mind, it felt as if my blood was boiling. It billowed and bubbled, rising up to my head like magma. What did you do to Nanami?
Huh? Already told you, showed her a good bit of loving. Oh yeah, she was awesome as an aunt. She must have really hurt.
That had all been real. But I come home afterwards to check I hadn't been able to find that damn hand. So that was why.
You know, Misumi, don't leave me hanging. Tell him all about it. You were there the whole time after all. Forget that shit. He killed me.
Forget that shit? Forget that shit? What the fuck could possibly be more important? My sister, what matters here, you piece of shit? Don't you fucking dare compare that fucking horse cunt to Minako to my precious little sister!
Oh yeah, that reminds me. We did a real nice photo as a souvenir. Yo, Ezra, you want to see? Let me show you.
I'll fucking kill you.
Let's see, pose. Oh, there it is. Here you go, Esper. Take a good look.
The Dokkan grabbed me by the jaw and forced me to look at the image. The photograph was definitely Nanami, but she's covered in blood. Her eyes were hollow. She was completely naked. I'll fucking kill you, I'll fucking kill you, I'll fucking kill you, I'll fucking kill you, I'll fucking kill you. I'll fucking kill you, I'll fucking kill you. The knife I'd been gripping dug itself deep into that Dokkan bastard's chest. I brought it with me today just in case I needed it. Apparently I myself had stabbed him. I pulled it out, then stabbed him with it again. And then I did it again. What the fuck? Taku, stop! Shut the fuck up. I pulled it out, then stabbed it back in. Misumi, and you should all die for what you did to Nanami. You and the whole goddamn world should all die. I'll kill you all myself. I pulled it out and stabbed it back in. Again. The Dokkan wasn't moving anymore. With his eyes wide open and his mouth drooling blood, he was very much dead. Hey, Kozue. Kill every last One of them. With a sad look on her face, Kazupi nodded. Her D-sword rose in her hand. It wheeled with a furious resonant noise. And then Misumiku could only stare in shock at the abrupt embodiment of mayhem.
Huh?
What? With a single swipe, Misumi's head was blown clean off. She'd swung her sword so violently she lost her balance and fell right on her ass. Misumi's collapsing by then fell on top of her, soaking her clothes with blood. Despite looking wholly miserable, she pushed the corpse aside, and then she looked at me and smiled.
Takumi-san killed someone too, huh?
Was she crying? Suffering? Or simply smiling? Within her pained smile was a mix of so many different emotions.
Why are there so many enemies? Make it stop.
She was sobbing inside her heart. But it was just as she'd said. We had enemies everywhere. So we had no choice but to kill them. That's what they all deserved. I wasn't the one in the wrong here. The pieces of shit that I'd attacked were. It was payback for what they'd done to Nanami. Nanami, was she still alive? With all that blood, she was probably long dead. That and her severed hand. There's no way she was alive. You would never get away with this. I'd make fucking sure of it. I've been on the wrong for so long, but that ended here. I would kill every last one of them. Every last one. When I'd seen that horrible, cruel image of Nanami, something inside me snapped. And now, there'd be no stopping me. Sumamoru stood before the gate to Sume Private Academy, gazing intently at the building. The car he had driven there sat alongside the gate, with his back leaning up against it. Although he wore a suit, a rucksack adorned his back as well. Emanating from within it was a bizarre mechanical sound. The atmosphere within the school was one of an intense, bubbling tumult, one Suwa could feel even from where he stood. The pure hilarity of it all left Suwa unable to contain his laughter. I know for a fact that today'll be the day of finding that Nishija Tagumi's code sample. His utterance was not directed at anyone in particular. It was heard only by himself. Around him stood several other men. Unlike Suwa, their attire was far more uncouth and casual, though they all carried rucksacks just as he did. They were all very evidently suspicious, but their eyes remaining glued to the school and speaking not a word to each other. All that seeped from their mouths were the same mutterings as Suwa, spoken to no one but themselves. This is why school's made a testing ground. Then again, that's what the big boys up at Nozomi had it built for in the first place. Sume Private Academy had been founded by an institution backed by both Nozomi Technology and the Cosmic Church of the Divine Light. For this reason, the number of Gigalomaniacs enrolled was far higher than normal. Their proximity was no mere coincidence. It was simply inevitable that they had all gathered here, and to this they were all none the wiser. Be that as it may, Suwa could not help but let out a faint sigh. Up until this moment, he had employed countless methods of attempting to break Nishijo Takumi. It had all been an attempt to gather Nishijo's code sample, but the boy was a far weaker, far more pathetic person than he had anticipated, and because of this, the boy would never find the motivation to awaken as a Gigalomaniac. Never would he have thought that one single boy could be so much trouble. However, this would end today. No more of this cat and mouse shit. I'll show you the awesome part I've kept tucked up my sleeve. There was no doubt that countless innocent people would die here, but the number of deaths hardly mattered. The Cosmic Church and the Divine Light's founder had said so, and Suwa had thus been compelled to believe so. In the end, it really did not matter. The third melt would bring Shibuya to ruin this very day. No matter how many high schoolers died, they would be treated as sacrifices lost to the earthquake, and the truth of this day would be buried beneath the rubble. None would ever know of the murders that occurred here. So, let's get that party started. So opened the trunk of his car and retrieved his Darth Spider helmet. He put it on slowly and deliberately. When it stood alongside his suit and rucksack, the dark earth spider helmet made Sue appear all the more conspicuous. But this was not something that even remotely bothered him. With an air of utter composure, he advanced into the school. And upon Sue's signal, the men with the rucksacks followed closely behind him, remaining in complete and utter silence. I wonder if things are going to turn out how you think they will. I lent my shoulder to Kozue, and the two of us left for the courtyard. And when we got there, Seina was waiting for us. She was glaring at us with a harsh scowl on her face. Her D-sword was out, wheel-booted and emitting a red beam of light. You two are fools. You've been caught in a trap. It's all an assault on your minds, the effects of which are causing everyone to act unstable. This is the work of true evil. To escape this nightmare, we have to strike down the source. The source is a porter. They're here somewhere. They're carrying a rucksack. They then attack me with delusions.
Seina-chan, are you Kazupi's friend? You're a friend, right?
Kozue.
What did you mean true evil? What about the effect thingies? The Kaki roaches that attacked Kazupi and Takumi-chan were automatically our enemies. That's why we killed them. Kazupi didn't want to kill anyone.
The voice in Kazupi's head wasn't making any sense. Her mind was a chaotic mess. You've given our enemies exactly what they wanted.
But we're all being stalkered now. Kazupi's just so scared. Kazupi isn't going to be Kazupi any longer.
I felt the same. The click of the camera shutters, the creaking of the wheelchair. Just hearing those things made me feel like my mind was disintegrating. I just wanted to let myself go. Surrender to that oh so enticing bloodlust. Or maybe I already had. Do you two have any idea what it is you're fighting? I didn't know who the enemy was. I didn't know anything at all, really. Was my enemy Shogun? Or was it someone else? I didn't even know who was attacking me, who anymore. What I could say for sure, though, was that everyone and everything in this world was against me. Don't let delusions deceive you. You have to stop, or else your own delusions will be your downfall. Kozue, you can't use your D-sword any more than you already have. Negative matter is eroding your mind and body. You're not even able to walk properly, are you? If you keep this up, your very existence itself will collapse.
Seina-chan, are you Kazupi's and Takumi-chan's friend?
With a voice sounding like it was begging for salvation, Kazupi pleaded for an answer once more. I too waited with bated breath to see what Seina might say. I wasn't expecting anything. I really wasn't, but... I am a friend to you both. And Seina answered decisively. I'll face the enemies that are attacking you two. So you have to stop these delusions. I was saved. I had someone on my side besides Kazupi. Another friend. Kazupi slowly lowered her sword.
Kazupi's so happy. Seina-chan, I love you so much.
Tears began to form in the corners of her eyes. Kazupi's gaze clung to Seina like a lost puppy. Without warning, Kazupi swung her D-sword. Seina instinctively deflected the blow with her own. However, the shock of the attack was enough to blow her backward, and she fell to the ground. Kozue, what are you?
Kazupi!
Kazupi? Seina made it clear she was on her side. Why are you trying to kill her?
No, I'm not Kazupi.
Crying out in her inner voice, she swung the sword up past her head and held it above Seina.
I'm not Kazupi.
She swung down with the intent to kill. With only a nanosecond to spare, Seina rolled across the ground, barely avoiding being cleaved in two. Quickly getting back to her feet, she brandished her D-sword once again. Are you trying to kill me, Kozue? Crying profusely, Kazupi shook her head back and forth wildly in fierce denial.
No, Kazupi's hands move on their own. Help! Seina-chan! Takumi-chan!
What the hell was happening to her? Seriously, what the fuck was going on? You've been possessed by the negative delusions. You've lost control of your D-sword. So against Kazupi's own will, she was now an indiscriminate killing machine.
Kozue, erase your D-sword.
Kosubi can't. Kosubi can't do it.
Damn it. Kill, 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 kill. A voice spoke. But it wasn't her inner voice. It was Kozubi's actual voice. Chanting kill to no end. The exact opposite of what her inner voice wanted.
Help! Kosubi doesn't want this.
Sena, help her already. All I could do was beg from the sidelines. There's no way I could have walked into the middle of the fray.
I feel like our delusions and neutralize the... Kozubi launched an unrelenting attack. But all she was doing was barreling around with her D-sword. It was purely a brutish attack with no aim. One only a totally old idiot would use.
Kosubi doesn't want to kill you. Seishan, Kosubi doesn't want to kill you.
Spider body staggering around, spider feet drunkenly stumbling. Spider gaze not even facing Sena, Kazupi's sword heads straight towards Sena without fail, doing everything in its power to rip her in two. I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll fucking kill you, I'm going to fucking kill you. Lashing out at her with nothing but nonsensical attacks, her assault continued. Each and every swing was extremely heavy, yet sharp as could be. Sena was pressed for time. Her expression grew restless. Listen! The swords mutually clashed with one another. Sena repelled the blow, breaking Kazubi's guard. But in Kazubi's counterattack, her D-sword seemed to disregard the very laws of physics themselves. Uh-oh. Thick blood sprayed from her slender body. That was all a delusion. Sena cut around and made her way to Kazubi's back. The once bloodied corpse of Sena vanished. Taking advantage of Kazubi's shock, Sena managed to pin her arms behind her back. Toss your D-sword, Kozue. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go.
Kill Kosubi. Seishan, kill Kosubi.
Kosubi isn't bad, Kosubi isn't bad. It's everyone else that's bad.
Kosubi doesn't want to see this to me. Kosubi doesn't want to kill Seishan out your soap.
Kosubi's mind and body were at odds with one another. They had split completely in two. Her small body thrashed around violently in an attempt to break free, but in her mind she could only weep. I'm begging you, throw down your sword, Kozue. Please return to how things were. I will never abandon you. You're the only friend I have. Tears formed in Sena's eyes. She was crying. Right then, Kazubi's arm made the strangest of movements, bending in a direction that shouldn't have been possible. A dull crack could be heard as her joint dislocated. A muted scream came from her. Before I even knew what happened, Sena, who had been keeping Kazubi pinned, had been impaled from behind by Kazubi's boorish D-sword. The edge gnawed through her, grinding into her flesh like a saw. In the blink of an eye, Sena's clothes were turning deep crimson. Gritting her teeth in pure anguish, she tried to toss Kazubi aside to put space between them. But she was too late. Kazubi whipped around, then slashed her sword in a straight, horizontal line. And the side of Sena's body was torn to pieces. Kazubi turned to Sena, who was writhing in intense agony, and then she thrust her D-sword directly into her.
Seishan, run!
Die, 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 die.
Kozue.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Die, 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 die.
I couldn't save you. You looked up to me so much. I couldn't help you.
Die, 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 die.
You cried for help.
If only I'd noticed it sooner. Talking with you, Kozue, was the only time I ever felt at ease. Die. For looking up to me for what we had. Thank you. Die. I couldn't look straight at it.
Seishan dead?
She was dead. Sam was dead. Just like everyone else. Even though she'd been our friend. Even though she could have saved me and Kozue. Kozue had killed her. The sword remained pierced into our friend's corpse. Kazubi's disjointed arm hung down lifelessly. And on her face was a smile, accompanied by a waterfall of tears.
Seishan, say something. Let's all go eat crunchy things together. Takumi-san can come too, so 3 of us can take a picture. Again.
Her heart was crying out in despair.
Hey, Takumi-san. Why isn't Seishan saying anything? Why?
Seina's dead.
Kozue killed her. Kozue really killed her.
Kozue fell to her knees. With one hand, Kozue softly picked up what was left of Seina's lifeless corpse. What had once been a girl of intense beauty was now smeared head to toe in blood, with her long black hair covering her face.
Why to Kozue? I didn't mean for this. This isn't what Kozue wished for. Kozue didn't wish for this. Seishan, Kozue loved you. Kozue really, really loved you. You're like a big sister to Kozue. Why? Why did Kozue kill Seishan? Why?
May the divine light save you. Before I knew it, a man in a Darth Spire helmet had appeared near us, holding a small handgun, pointing directly at us. You? Darth Spider. I remember what that Dokun had told me before I killed him in a fit of rage. He said that Darth Spire had offered Nanami to him. You? Did you say something? He shot me. My leg exploded with pain. The bullet struck me right in the knee.
Takumi-san!
Kazubi's D-sword began to hum. And Darth Spire's helmet was shredded like it was made of paper. It wasn't Shogun's face beneath the mask. Instead, it was the face of a young man. The man retaliated, turning Kozue into a mess of gushing blood and broken bones. And then Kazubi's legs gave out from beneath her. Oopsie, shouldn't be killing you quite yet. Still gotta grab your code samples. Who was this guy? Who in the hell was this bastard? I couldn't stop thinking about that I'd met him somewhere out before, but I couldn't remember where. Where had he even gotten his hands on a gun to begin with? But I didn't know that this must have been him. The so-called source Seina had mentioned. Was he Shogun's underling? Or was he some other enemy? I didn't know the answers to any of these things, and I didn't need to. Because at the very least, I knew he was the source behind everything. I wanted to kill this bastard so badly. But my aching leg was suffering from an incredibly unusual sensation, and before long I couldn't even stay standing anymore. The next bullet landed in my shoulder. The impact of the shot sent me sprawling on the ground. The bullets dug into my flesh, and the sheer pain and heat made me scream. Next, my arm. I dropped the knife I had been clenching tightly in my fist. My entire body was emitting distress signals. I couldn't even tell where I was being shot anymore. I was dying. This pain was too much for me to take. The man approached me. He peered at my face and removed something odd from the rucksack he was carrying. It was some sort of headgear, with more cables than I could count.
Kill.
What?
I'm gonna kill you.
Rising up from the ground, Kozue swayed heavily.
She's dragging her leg, almost having to force herself while she raised her blade. What the? Is she fucking monster?
Die!
I heard the sound of the sword cutting through air. It interlaced perfectly with the sound of gunfire. The D-sword utterly crushed the man's body. His final breath soon dissipated, and the man's all too familiar way of speaking would never be heard again. Moaning, Kozue coughed up a spatter of blood. Her chest was dyed a rich vermilion from the bullets of the dead man. And then, as if her strength had been sapped entirely, she collapsed face up onto the flower bed resting directly behind her. A myriad of black particles began to envelop her D-sword, a hulking mass of sheer mayhem, inspiring awe to those who beheld it. The truly beautiful yet fearful blade gradually began to waver.
Takumi-san, Kozue can't go on any longer.
Bearing the excruciating pain shooting through me, I crawled as best I could toward where Kozue lay. Only a few moments ago, my entire body had been blazing with heat. But now, I felt so terribly cold. It was like I had plunged straight into a lake on the cold winter's day. My whole being was shivering with a force I couldn't stop. I couldn't feel my fingers anymore. My vision had gone blurry too. But even so, willing forth all the strength I could muster, I stretched my hand toward the girl lying in a radiant array of brightly colored flowers. My cold fingertips met Kozupi's warm, tender fingers, desperately seeking something to cling to, wishing with all my heart to find it. I draped my fingertips on top of hers and closed them. I found myself lying in the flower bed, just like Kozue. The stench of blood was masked perfectly by the rich scent of the flowers. I felt rigid, but found warmth through the soil on my back, as well as Kozupi's fingers. The sky was so very high above us, stretching as far as the eye could see. And for some reason,
Hey, the sky is really, really pretty. It's like a whole bunch of clicky-clackies are decorating it.
She was right. The sky we saw shifted hues endlessly, and just like she said, it was like there was an array of colorful beads overtaking the sky. From my pocket, I retrieved the cell phone strap that Kozue had given me some time ago. I'd only just remembered that I even had it. I tucked the cell phone strap in my palm, then clasped her hand once more, embracing the strap in the middle. I wasn't strong enough to maintain a solid grip anymore, but it didn't matter.
If only Kozue could flow up high in the sky too. Kozue wishes she could be a clicky-clacky.
You can. Throw away your piece of shit body. Throw away this piece of shit world. You can be a star if you truly wish to be. If you do that, then you'll never have to worry about pain or sorrow ever again. If you do that, then you'll live in peace and tranquility forever.
Takumi-san, won't you come with Kozue?
Of course I will. I'll always be with you. You were the only person who didn't betray me. You were the only person trying as hard as you could for my sake, even until the very end. So I'll never betray you. I'll stay with you, even until the very end.
Thank you. Is it okay if Kozue falls in love with Takumi-san?
I don't mind. My consciousness was fading, but I answered all the same. I realized that the hand I'd been clasping was slowly beginning to lose its warmth. I realized that the strength was slowly fading from the fingers clasping my hand. But I didn't care. I wasn't going to let go of her hand until the very end. I tried my damnedest to hold back the tears I knew would come. sky I saw turned to pure white. All the clickety-clackities were disappearing. I figured something had happened, but I didn't really care anymore. Relief washed over me. Relief that Kozue wouldn't have to see the clickety-clackities die out. I gently closed my eyes. In that very moment, time came to a stop. The entire world came to a stop. And so, within that sky, with colors as rich as those beads, Kozue and I shone as stars, floating in perpetuity. Ugh. Ugh. Slapped myself a couple times. Once again, it felt like I got put into a trance. You ever just get so into something that you feel like you just lose your sense of self? That's what happens with these endings. Gosh dang. It's a strange feeling. I just get so into it and feel like I lose myself. Ugh. It's so weird feeling. Whew. A couple more slaps. Just keep slapping my face. Ugh, okay. Feel some life return to me. Whew. Anyways. What was I gonna say? That was one hell of an ending. That was insane. It was just as terrifying as I'd expected it to be. It was absolutely horrifying as I had anticipated. I figured it would have to be resulting in a bloodshed. The only thing that I'm surprised didn't happen is that I'm honestly surprised that Takumi didn't grab his D-sword and start killing alongside of Kozue. That's the only thing that surprised me about that ending. Other than that, everything kind of played out in a way that I was half expecting. I mean, of course, I didn't predict everything, but regarding the whole slaughter thing, I mean, yeah, the second you put the sickness slaughter or whatever at the title of the ending, yeah, it becomes pretty obvious what's going to happen overall. Ugh. But, yeah. Whew. That was an ending. One hell of an ending. Reminder, there are 3 other endings remaining, and I'm honestly absolutely mortified to get to them. Excited, but mortified. Don't hold the mages thing. Why are you holding them? Why are you holding mages? A disease that leads to slaughter. The sickness unto slaughter ending. Well, that was horrifying. 3 more endings remain. So, next time will be Seina's ending. Oh boy! Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you all later. Peace!